Hi, my name is Tommy Kelly. Hi there.
How are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, good. I'm wearing headphones today, so hopefully
Oh, I can hear you
there's
much
no
better this
echo
time.
on. Oh, good.
I was having a bit of trouble with the microphone there as well, so
Oh, really?
yeah, people couldn't hear me. I don't know what was going on. I tried to put it on headphones, it was just blanking all the sound out for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think on here it's a bit like like temperamental, like with like it cuts out
Yeah.
a lot and things like that. Yeah.
Have you been seeing all the drama that's been going on lately in the vegan community last night?
No, what
Vegan,
happened?
vegan cheetah has put up a video this morning. Izo Mazard's now suing, obviously, Julian Ryder again. He's decided he's suing him.
Yes.
And
Oh, yeah, I did
also,
see that.
He's out at Sorsha for being a prostitute.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's put up a video. He says he's found out, vegan cheetah's found out that she's a former prostitute, and he said maybe we'll see her in some Hollywood movies.
Oh, I
So
saw something about her being in TV, but I must have missed, or movies or something like that. But I
yeah,
think I must have clicked out before he said that.
so that's been
Oh,
the latest.
wow.
But I didn't actually know that
It's just,
Izo Mazard's actually signed up to Julian Ryder's Patreon, which is quite
that's
surprising.
quite, I know, it's like, unless he's in there just to see what's going on.
Oh, there's Maddie Blueberry saying hi to you there.
Hi, is it Maddie? Yeah, Maddie. Hi,
Maddie, yeah.
Maddie.
I actually thought
Yeah.
Maddie was in Australia, but she's actually saying she's in Portugal at the moment.
Oh, wow. Traveling?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Isel's trolling, she says.
I,
Well, I hope
I
he's not, because that's a lot of money.
I've actually lost all faith in him, to be honest. I think he's starting over his own cult. See, since he got all the sympathy when he needed it, rightfully so, because nobody
Yeah.
had to go through what he did. But now he's just become as bad as Julian Ryder.
Yeah, it's like Joe Best made a video saying like uh, about what was the movie called? Um, Farm Animals or something like that. I can't
Yeah,
remember what it was called, but yeah, where we hate our leader, but then we think that a new leader's going to make it different, and they're just as bad, if not worse.
that's it.
So,
And obviously as well, there's all this trouble about the Rt4 condemning people for eating fat, saying that the fat you eat is
yes,
the fat you eat is the fat you wear. And like I say, that's absolutely ludicrous because, especially with people with eating disorders, if they start coming to Rt4 knowing that, you're going to be swapping one disorder for another. And likelihood is, though that's not an eating disorder, it obviously does stick onto your eating disorder. And if your eating disorder can catch onto anything, it's just going to prolong your recovery.
yeah, I don't think it's going to give everyone an eating disorder, but someone that has a weakness for it or a
That's
tendency to
exactly.
be influenced. Yeah. Well, Maddie just said she doesn't think we need any leaders. I think that's true.
No,
100%.
just build a positive community, which is what we need.
Yeah, we're not a church or, like
That was one of
just
the
different people.
that was one of the things I seen that Izo Mazard made in his video about a week ago. They're saying he was comparing veganism to things like Buddhism and things like that. I commented on his video. I says, when's veganism a religion? I says, who's the vegan god then?
Yes, that's right. like, no one has the perfect mindset, I think, to be a leader, really. Like,
None.
you have your faults and I have mine as well.
Exactly.
So no one is really going to, you know, like, really influence people in a positive way, because someone can say you're not doing it properly just the way they can say I'm not doing it properly. We
Yeah.
just need to do our own thing. We don't need anyone telling us what to do, or, you know, because then people are going to judge them. It's just, yeah. And with his money that he got for that help, that's a civil lawsuit. So if he wins, he's going to get a lot of money from that. And I'm
That's it.
kind of curious if he's going to give that money back to the people that donated to him, because I would.
I totally agree with you, Maddie Blueberry. We need to
You know.
support each other in the community, and like you say, Roto4 isn't going to make everybody have an eating disorder, because not everyone can have an eating disorder, but
Yep.
certainly if
Yeah,
people
that's
come
true.
into it with an eating disorder before it, your eating disorder is going to latch onto that, obviously.
That's right. And, you know, you've got teenage girls that would have never thought they'd have an eating disorder, but they find those websites that encourage it,
Exactly.
and that ends up happening. So it's not going to happen to everybody, but there is the like, if someone has that kind of weakness, I think, in themselves, or their mindset for it, then it's definitely got the potential.
And the thing is, in all this
Because,
low fat, high carb, even just going vegan, you're going to be predominantly high carb anyway, because most plant foods and things are high carbohydrate just through default. So it's stupid.
that's right, that's right. I think what the pro-Anna thing is disgusting, yeah.
Yeah,
They pop up every day,
definitely.
apparently, so,
I think that's what gives a lot of the eating disorder recovery people a bad name, and the community, because if people see that and they think obviously it's a choice, you know what I mean?
yes. And I mean, Instagram, I can't remember how it happened to me, but I came across, like, I was looking up a hashtag and then someone had that hashtag Anna or whatever.
Uh,
And I clicked it, and the amount of photos and self-harm, and I thought, why is Instagram not letting a girl have a picture of her boobs, right? But then they let this happen, which is so much more destructive.
exactly.
And these people are like helping each other, and this is Instagram, so it's something that's never going to go away. But
Instagram's actually full of it. I get it all the time, you know what I mean? There's quite a big anorexic community in that, and they're all pro
you've got to
ana,
stay away from it.
yeah, they're trying to get tips off one another and things. It's just, I've had
Yeah,
it constantly, and I just say I'm not even going to reply to it, because it's hard enough recovering from eating disorders, and for them to promote it and try and give each other tips. You're trying to save lives, no keep condoning things like
yeah,
this.
yeah. It's a crazy world that we're in. The internet's really given a lot of power to, because, you know, you look back 20 years ago, you really didn't have as many resources to
No,
find
exactly.
encouragement. So I think it's more prominent now because of all these diets and things online. So many girls develop binge eating. Yeah, well, from what Duran Rider and Freely promote. Because unlimited calories.
Well, that's it, and limiting their fats and things like that. That's why they're constantly hungry, and they're eating an awful lot of fruits and vegetables, and their bellies distended. Because if they
Yeah,
were eating proteins and fats that would be more saturated than the one they have that hunger in, that's probably why they are
exactly.
gaining a lot of weight, and worrying how it's not
Yeah.
working for them.
Well, I remember when I found Freely, she was one of the first vegan channels, and I was like, I said to Michael, like, can you believe I can eat as much as I want and I'm going to lose weight?
It's
And
absolutely nonsense.
I'm so glad I didn't. Well, I'm glad, because if I had the money, I probably would have done Raw4, but it was just too expensive. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't have the funds for it,
Hi Eve,
because
nice to see you here.
it would have been destructive, I think, because everything, like, I like what Unnatural Vegan says in her bio on her channel. Like, it says being vegan won't make you thin and attractive.
Well, that's true. It doesn't
because
make you a
it's
good person
true.
either.
Yes, exactly. Yes, she said. I think she said that too, because it's true. Like it doesn't. I mean, you can eat anything, really. You can choose to go healthy on vegan or not healthy. I mean, how many chicken schnitzels are there that's all processed food and it doesn't
Exactly, that's
just because
it.
it's vegan doesn't mean it's healthy. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, Eve's here. Hi, Eve.
oh, hi Eve, nice to see you. And yeah, you totally agree about the ROTO4, definitely.
Yeah.
Maddie
Being a
Blueberry,
good person makes you a good
yeah,
person. That's
exactly.
true. That's
That's
right.
that should be your main thing that you wake up every morning to do is try and do some good for everybody and spread a bit of love. And kindness costs nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you could be a vegan and you could still be a rapist or a murderer or, and you could be a meat eater and not be
Oh,
any of those things.
I don't believe this.
So,
Look at this again. He's up again. He's always got to get in the
got,
act. I
I
think
remember, I see him in your videos. He's always like, hey.
he wants his own channel, I think.
Yeah, you could do that.
Definitely.
Like an
Just put,
interruption compilation of all the times he's jumped on top of you.
yeah, Blueberry's actually just won us.
What's that?
Maddie says he's very cute. I says he's one of 6.
Oh, he's got a really cute face. Is he like part Labrador or?
He's part Lurcher and part Irish Wolfhound.
Oh, okay.
So he looks like a
Yeah.
Lurcher, but he's about 6 foot odd standing up because he's really tall with Irish Wolfhound in him.
Oh, so if he jumped up, he could give you a hug.
Yeah, aye, definitely. I've actually got a question here that somebody asked me, and they asked me to ask you it. It's to my own beat. She's
Oh.
on my channel. She suffers with OCD, and she's asking, what's your take on medication for mental issues like OCD and anxiety, and do you think they're kind of related in some way?
Do I think it can be what? Related?
Yeah, do you think it can be related, and what's your take on medication for those illnesses like OCD and anxiety?
Well, I think, honestly, like in my situation, I need it. Like I was on it since I was 19. I did a drug trial and it seemed to help my symptoms. And when I was about 23, I just decided to stop. And you're fine for a little while, but then you just have this slow decline,
Yeah, no,
And it came to the point where I think I've talked about it before. Like Michael said, he couldn't stay with me anymore because he was just so out of energy because it took so much, panic attacks. Like Maddie just said, every day.
That's exactly it.
And he had to clean up everything because I couldn't handle the cleaning that I wanted to do. And going on the medication, it's just like taking, in my opinion, medication for diabetes, right? It's something in the body. You need to take it to help you.
You need to give yourself
the
some
brain,
sort of life.
Yeah, there's an imbalance in the chemicals in the brain.
Yeah.
So, I think it's, in regards to veganism, I'm sure they're tested on animals, but you have to do the best you can. And
It's like
I'm
I
not,
said the other day. It's like I said the other day, I got a lot of hate because of my wife having cancer and people saying that I should have stopped her having chemotherapy because Cancer Research UK test on animals. But unfortunately, it is bad that they test on animals, but in some cases they've got to, and you need this treatment to stay alive or help you function day to day. So
that's right.
it's best a bad word.
That's right. I mean, we can't be falling off the face of the earth like everyone just dropping like flies because, because I've never been suicidal, but if somebody else is and they're not on medication, I mean, even though it's something to do with their brain and not cancer, they might reach the point of suicide, and
it's like Maddie says there,
what
it's
help are we
necessary,
giving?
the world isn't a perfect place, it's quite enough.
That's right. Yeah. I think it's necessary. Like, as much as I think eating a better diet has helped as well, I don't think it could fix the problem alone, because there's still an imbalance, you know.
The one thing that I've found is since I've went vegan, I've got a much clearer thinking. It's obviously, you forget that when you're in eating disorders, that you starve your body, you're also starving your brain.
Of course, yeah.
You don't accept that when you're stuck in the issues of eating disorder. You're just thinking 24/7 about food, and you're isolating yourself with family, friends and things like that. And gradually it just takes over your life. But until you start to get the nutrients in your body and feed your brain, things become clearer.
Yes.
That's when recovery becomes a good bit easier. Yes,
yeah. Like, that's with, it's not a, veganism helps, but it's not a cure. Yeah, that's exactly right. We're the cure, we choose. Like, I spent years seeing my weight, you know, myself gain weight and, you know, my health get worse. And I always thought, that doesn't matter. I want to make the OCD better. That's all I wanted to do. And the doctors kept saying to me, but if you exercise and da-da-da-da-da, you know, that's going to help. And I never believed them until, and that's the thing, you need to come to that realization yourself. I want to fix myself. I want to make myself better. And since I've done that, I'm like, that was so right. Because it's like the first time I took that pill, where I was like, you know, when I took that pill in the trial, I was like, I can't believe that doesn't bother me anymore. How's that possible? How's that possible? Last week I would have been crying about it. And that's exactly what it's like with the veganism. It's like I've taken another pill in a way, because I'm like, oh, that doesn't bother me anymore. How?
Part of the medication, isn't it, really, in a way?
It is. I think, well, food is medicine for everybody, you know.
Definitely for eating disorders, but that was one thing I got I think about the other day there. Somebody was saying eating disorders are a lot like addictions, like drugs and alcohol. In a way, yes, but the difference with drugs and alcohol is to recover, all you need to do is avoid the drugs and the alcohol. But with an eating disorder, you're facing food every single day. So it's much harder in that sense, because food's your medicine, it's also your demon as
your
well.
Life source. And the thing is, you can't avoid food. Like, you can throw out all the alcohol. It's still going to be hard.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But
it's a total different type of recovery, because you're dealing with your enemy daily, and you've got to keep taking it. Whereas somebody with drugs and alcohol, they just need to take that away for their life.
Yes. Yeah. It's the same, but it's different. Like,
that's it. It's the same. It's the same as an addiction, but it's different way of dealing with it.
Of recovery,
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And do you feel like, since you're eating better and everything, that like the old Tommy is coming back, like your old personality?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Because that's how I feel a bit. Like, I'm more myself, like how I was when I was younger.
The difference in my face, just a mile away. That is one thing I have.
And just the colour.
Yeah. That's one thing I have been getting a bit of issues with. See, when people say to me, "Oh, you look better," my eating disorder voice is telling me, "Oh, that means you're fat."
It's fat.
But I know I'm not fat, but that is my eating disorder telling me that. And I'm trying to battle that. But
yeah, you kind of need to sit with yourself for a while, and for me anyway, I have a discussion. Like, you know that's not dirty, say, or you could say, I know I'm not fat, but it takes ages for you to convince yourself, and sometimes you don't, and you know.
That's very
true. It's so
true.
stupid how the eating disorder convinces you looking sick is good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's because your eating disorder doesn't want you to lose grip on it, because that's your identity, and if it sees that you're recovering from things and people's trying to help you, you'll gradually push people away, because your eating disorder doesn't want anybody helping you. It wants to be in control, and that is the reason.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't want other people making him smaller and smaller. Like, Because at one stage he was like this and he's getting like that and he's like, no, and
Yeah,
it fights
it's,
harder.
and you push people away. See, when people try and help you, I remember like when my dad would come into the hospital, and I knew he was putting me in the hospital for the best of reasons, and he would come in and he'd be crying and things about how bad I was, and I was lying there after a heart attack in a coma, and I come out it and I says to my dad, get out, I don't want you here. You're just trying to keep me in here for life. But that I knew the minute I started crying, that was my eating disorder shouting out at him, and it's you hate yourself for it because you say you become angry, you become irate, you lash out at the people you love. It's terrible.
And it's like a temporary shift. Like you're not the same person in that moment.
It's like a Jekyll
I
and
remember
Hyde
I used to do that.
personality, basically.
Yes, yeah. What's Maddie said, when she was deep in her eating disorder, she felt the same, like she'd lost herself and didn't know how to get herself back. I built a new, better me. My old me was sick. And he said, seeing my mum have back-to-back panic attacks really made me wake up.
Yeah, that's sometimes what it takes to see that you're hurting the people you love, and you've just got. But most importantly, doing it for them. But most importantly, you need to do it for yourself, because you'll never fully recover until you actually want it for you. That is the main thing.
That's what the hard thing was. Michael, for so many times, it kept telling me, you need to see a therapist, you need to go on medication. And I would, but then I'd go off it again and I'd go back downhill. And it wasn't until like, I don't know, about a year or 2 years ago, where I was at the end of my like tether, and I was like, I have to go. Like I'd booked an appointment for a month in advance, and I was like, I got to get the first one in. Like I got to go tomorrow, or I don't know how much more I can take. And that's when you need to kind of hit rock bottom. You need to see the worst to say,
Sometimes you've got to hit that.
It's sad, but it is true.
It's like the old saying goes, sometimes you've got to hit that rock bottom before you can get back up.
Yeah, because I used to do the whole screaming. I remember when we first moved into this house, the people probably thought we were crazy because just over the tiniest little thing, like, I don't know what it would be, I can't remember, but I would just scream so loud, I would just lose it. And now I'm like, I can't even imagine doing that. But when you're not on medication, when you're not helping yourself, you can just,
Maddie's made
they probably thought there was something wrong with me.
Maddie's made a great point there. She says, when you do it for someone else, it's easy to lie, but if you do it for yourself, it's a different story. Definitely.
Yeah. Because people are going to come and go, and it's easy to hide it from them. That's true, and pretend everything's okay when you're around them.
The hard thing,
like my mum, because I don't live with her.
That is the main issue.
Yeah.
You don't really recover until you actually start to accept it yourself, and sometimes it takes years, and people can hide it for years until it's too late.
Yeah. That's like, I've got friends that I've known since school, and until I actually said it on Facebook to all of my friends, a lot of people didn't even know. They just thought, oh, she's the girl that always carries around the hand sanitizer. But they didn't know that if I didn't have that, I would have a panic attack, So, and it's easy to hide. Like since I moved out of my mum's house, she thought I was getting better, because it's easy to pretend in front of people. When you're not living with them, they can only see that few hours you're with them. Mm-hmm. And then when I was like, I'm having, really bad relapse, she was like, where did that come from? But Michael's seen it all because he's been here. So
that's it.
Yeah. So,
well,
did you find it?
Sorry?
I was going to say, did you find it easy to hide it yourself, like your eating disorder?
Yeah, well, that's what eating disorders thrive in secrecy. That's the thing, and it's all part of it. I remember doing strange things, like I would go out and I hate saying this because I don't like people catching on to these things on here, but I used to go out and buy things like laxatives and things and hide them away, and I would go to the toilet and make myself sick by flushing the toilet and running water so people didn't hear me. It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do everything you can to try and hide it, and it's it's really bad, but
yeah, even when you live with someone, it can be easily hidden, unfortunately. Personally, she would eat in front of someone, yeah. Because no one follows you into the bathroom, so...
That's it.
You know, that's your place to do anything. And, I mean, even if they do catch you a lot of the time, it is easy to make a quick excuse if it's the first time, second time even.
But it's really, that's one thing I would like to say about it, and a lot of people don't understand it. Making yourself sick and things. I've lost teeth because it rots your teeth, and it can cause you stomach issues. And now I can't digest things properly. And obviously, as well, with taking the laxatives and things in the past, I've got constant bowel trouble now, and I've actually had a bowel prolapse, and I had to get a massive operation and things for it. And that's why I keep stressing. I keep stressing to people, please don't go down that road. They don't realise the kind of issues it can cause, and it affects you for life. And obviously as well, you're taking all the salts out of your body weight when you're taking laxatives, and it can cause you to have, obviously, heart arrhythmia and eventually a heart attack, which did happen with me. I was actually dead for 9 minutes.
Oh, wow. And how old were you then?
I was 20. I'd just come back from Australia. To let you actually know, I went to Australia in 2000, and I was away down to about 6 stone at this point. And the doctor had told me that he didn't want me to go, obviously, because my health was really, really bad. But at that point, I wasn't diagnosed with an eating disorder. It was just things like anxiety and depression because of my mum dying. And I went to Australia, like I say, and way back 6 months later, I was away down to about 4 stone. And I come off the plane, and I don't know how I managed it. I walked miles because it's the London Heathrow Airport is absolutely massive. I walked all the way to get my bags, running all the way to get home because I knew that I was really feeling ill. And after that, all I remember was waking up 3 months later in the hospital, and I seen all these clouds, and I said to the nurse, "Am I in heaven?" And she says, "No, you're in Gartnavel Hospital. You've been here for 3 months. You've been in a potassium coma." She says, "Because you're into a coma and you had a massive heart attack." She says, "You'd actually passed away for 9 minutes." People might not believe this, but this is what gave me all my faith. I actually had a near-death experience.
Yeah.
And what happened was, I went through this tunnel, and this might sound crazy to people, believe what you like, but I went through this tunnel, and all I seen was all these figures of people, and my mum's voice came forward, and she says to me, "Son, you get back there. You've got a lot of damage to do in that world. I love you, and your time's not yet." She says, "We'll come and get you when it is. Get back there. We love you." And I woke up. And that's when I woke up, and that's how I thought I was in heaven when I seen the white clouds when I came out of the coma. I says, "Am I in heaven?" And that was the reason why, because I just had that before it.
Yeah.
And I explained it all to the doctor, and I told him about when they were in trying to resuscitate me, about them putting the drain into my lungs. So they actually put a drain into my lung to get my heart started when I was dead. I told him all this, and he says, "That is totally amazing." He says, you were dead when we were doing this," and he says, "You've explained exactly what had happened." I told him about the nurses standing outside, and the wee nurse crying next to me, and all the family members that were round about my bed, what the procedure that they'd done. They couldn't believe it.
That is, that's amazing. Like it's true what people say.
Maddie's actually saying she's done her near-death experience there.
Yeah, it changed me.
It does.
Yeah. But I've noticed that with like when my grandmother passed away, she kept saying for the last few days that she was seeing her husband, my grandfather, and she kept like talking to him and saying like, "Oh, stop it! You being like a devil," she was saying in Maltese because he was always our prankster. And I think it's true. Like you see them, like they're either calling you or in your case, you know.
Somebody comes and collects you and takes you over. It's definitely that. The thing that got me is I used to blame myself a lot just after my mum died, because I fell asleep in the hospital when she passed away, and I had been in there for 4 days when she was terminal with cancer, and she was in a kind of in and out of a coma kind of thing. And I blamed myself because I never got a chance to say bye to her. And it wasn't until after she actually died, my dad told me that she always said that her one wish that I wasn't to see her pass, and she didn't want to die in the house. And I think that was her getting her wish. And the very same thing happened with my dad.
Yes.
He said that he didn't want me to see him passing. And I had been up at the hospital every single day to see him and all day long. And then I went to get my eating disorder appointment that morning. And then I get the call when I was outside in the car park. My wife says,
I remember in your video. Yeah.
It just passed.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like they're waiting.
I think
they're waiting.
Yeah, definitely.
She waited for you to fall asleep, and
my dad's done the same.
Yeah, it's happened to like a lot of in our family a lot. Like, you know, people will either want to be alone or want everyone with them. Like one of my grandmothers, the one that recently passed. Once everyone left, literally 5 minutes after the last person left, she passed away from the nursing home. My other grandma, it was once everyone had arrived at the nursing home that it happened. So it just depends on like what they wanted. But they can hold on for as long as they need to, and for that right time. Yeah, it's amazing to think of like what goes through their mind in those last few hours, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh well, I better go now. I need to go and get my dogs out and things like that. And it's been great speaking to you again. And
before they run you down.
We'll do this again next week again, definitely.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll do it on your channel.
It's good to chat to you.
We'll do it on your channel again next week, and then do it on my channel as well.
Yeah, we'll keep alternating it. Yeah, that sounds good.
There's Maddie Blueberry just got a question in before we go. I had a dream about my aunt and uncle talking to me, like listening to their voices from a live world. Never heard anyone from outside. Yeah, it just shows you that they've got the way of sending you messages.
The dreams.
That's where they come to
you. They do come in your dreams. Yeah. Right, it's nice to know that they're still there. Yeah.
Hope all you guys have a lovely day, and it's been great speaking to you, and send you all my love as always.
Yes,
speak to you soon, Jessica.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.